Is there a particular time you have to be done for, or you able to stay for a while? Or? Yeah, no worries. Welcome to the Edward Fowler Show here live on YouTube.com on Thursday, the 15th of April 2021. And pleasure to be back live for the first time in weeks now. It's not because I've been taking a vacation, not because of that, it's because I have been reaching out to numerous people. And I mean numerous. I've sent like 40 odd emails in the past 3 weeks. And what's happened is, not many people want to come on the show at the moment, they're too busy. But we did reach out to somebody called Terri Runnels, who used to work for WCW and World Wrestling Entertainment, WWE, even CNN. She'll be here shortly. She's just on the phone. She'll be calling me, just saying in a moment or so just hang on for that. Hopefully she'll be in the next few minutes. I just spoke to her and you caught the conversation a little bit there on my side, not on her side. You couldn't hear her, you could hear me talking to Terri a few moments ago. Hello Caitlin, welcome to the live stream here on youtube.com. It's well worth it to wait patiently for this exciting interview with the second person after the great Eric Bischoff to come on this very show. We're going to be speaking with Terri, all things to do with her time at CNN, WCW, WWE, as well as her other projects, including when she appeared on The Weakest Link in the US with The Meanest Woman in the World, Ann Robinson. I wonder how that went down. And here she is right now, live. Welcome, Terri, you're live on the show, so please do be careful what you may say here. If I can hear you, hopefully. So you may see a blue screen, and that's okay, because but I do not hear her. Oh, good, she's muted, that's why. Okay, so she's just muted herself. So once she's unmuted, we can then hear her. Thank you to Anxious Cracker. Welcome to the live stream as well. The blue screen you can see on your screen is to keep us in tune, and of course she'll be calling audio-wise on this edition of the show. First time ever. We thought let's try it out, see how it works again. It's a last minute thing, and we want to work it out and make sure we can have Terri on the show with us. And as soon as she is able to speak, we can ask her some interesting questions. Of course. Go on.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Yes.
Okay, no, I was saying that I didn't have a blue screen. All I had was your handsome face to look at. That's awesome.
Yes. Well, I'm glad you're here now. Welcome to the show. Thank you for accepting to be on the show today.
Yeah, I'm a day late and $1 short, and no video. Which that's all my fault because I assumed that this was a podcast and there would be no video. So forgive me for that.
Yeah, no problem at all. Maybe the next time you come on the show, we can see you in the flesh of some sort.
Definitely. I owe you another one with my face on. That's
Great.
For sure.
Great. Well, it'd be worth the wait for the viewers here. But the main thing is we can hear you. But that's the main thing, isn't it? As long as we can hear what you of your answers and your opinions, that's the main thing.
Awesome.
So, let's begin with this. Now, of course, I'm just interested to know, whereabouts are you in the US today?
I am in the great state of Florida.
Ah, nice. Good old Florida. Lovely and hot, I hope.
It's always hot and humid, which I hate it, so I don't know why I still live here. Yes, I do. I live here because of family.
Gotcha.
But yes, I would much rather live somewhere where it's cold and the air is crisp and cool and chilled and fresh.
Don't blame you for that. Hopefully one day you can move to a colder state, or maybe somewhere new, maybe in a different country.
If everyone will move with me, I will definitely do that.
I don't blame you one bit for that. Of course, you've been to the UK many times. We had on Eric Bischoff recently on the show. And he said that when he goes to the UK, he likes to go to a local pub to hear, local stories, to get the feel, the vibe, and get used to the culture. When you come to the UK, what do you do when you come?
Oh, I'm embarrassed to tell you this after Eric's lovely answer. I go shopping on Kings Road. I love Harvey Nichols. We don't have a Harvey Nichols over here, so
Gotcha.
I love going there. And yeah, that's my downfall when I go. And I love to go. I've seen a couple of plays there when I was there, and had some great food. So yeah, I love great food and anything that is top notch, whether it be a play, shopping, food. Just give me. I don't even care what the restaurant looks like if the food is incredible,
Yeah, that's the main thing, and I'm glad you get time to go shopping. Because I know some people, when they come over to the UK, all they do is just go to tourist attractions, don't they? So I'm glad you get down and gritty and go to some shops, get to see what we do here in the UK, how we act, and what clothes and accessories we love here in the UK. Have you only been in the London area? Have you able to travel, to maybe Manchester, Scotland kind of thing as well, or just mostly around London?
Yeah, I've been to Manchester, but I didn't get to really go around Manchester. But I do have to tell you something funny. When I say the word Manchester, It reminds me of it. Well, it wasn't funny to your countrymen.
Okay.
At first, so I am picked up in a limo from my hotel. I have an itinerary of what's going to happen for that day.
Right.
Um, I'm in the limo. I'm talking to the guys, and so we get to the building,
Yeah.
and when I say the building, um, it is the arena where Man U
Oh
plays
yes, Old
their
Trafford.
home, right? But because of the way they lead me in, I don't even know that I'm at that there's football played at this. I think I am going to do an appearance at a bank. Don't ask me why. I thought Manchester United sounded like a bank, but I
Yeah.
thought, what am I doing an appearance at a bank for? And so I asked them, I'm like, so where's the actual bank? And they're like, what? And they explained to me that me not knowing about Manchester United would be the same as someone from the UK not knowing the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
And so embarrassed. I apologize profusely. Yeah, thought it was a bank. Thought it was a bank. They were kind enough to then make a jersey for my nephew.
Oh, that's
I
nice.
don't know why they were after I thought they were a damn bank, but yeah, there were parts. So it all turned out okay, Edward. But yeah, I was a little flustered and embarrassed there for a hot minute.
Oh, well, that's good. But that's a nice thing, we all get, we all misunderstand stuff, don't we, So I'm glad you got to come to the great city of Old Trafford, not too far from where I am in Manchester, only a
Yeah.
20-minute drive from where you're talking about, from where I am. So not too far at all.
Oh,
But I do hope you get to come back to the UK. I know you were in the UK back in 2018. And I know you were at a wrestling company and you were with Vicky Guerrero as well. It's very cool. Hopefully you get to come back once things open back up worldwide regarding travel and restrictions and
yeah.
whatnot. But it's going to be very
Yes.
cool
So
to see you back.
ironically, in 2018, I think I was there 3 times
Oh, nice.
in one year. Yeah, and then um, what's interesting is last year I was supposed to go to Scotland, England, and Ireland
Oh,
for like
yeah.
a 3 month period, like 1 month in each country, and freaking COVID like socked me in the guts with that plan. So yeah, the minute the borders open, I am ready to go over there and do my little 1 month tour of each country.
Cool, cool. Well, I'm sure the Scottish and Irish fans will be happy to see you in their home nations, and it'd be good to see you back in this country, because I know you enjoy, I think, the British fans and the UK fans.
I love I love you guys.
It's because I think it's because why people love us is because we're very passionate about our football team and about our love for beer and whatnot. I think that's why you guys love performing over here.
Well, it's just that you guys are beautifully mannered and like okay, so when I raised my daughter Dakota,
Yeah.
I raised her with major manners. You say yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, yes, sir, no, sir. If you walk in front of two people talking, you say excuse me, please. If you have to interrupt someone, you say excuse me, please. There's just I just raised her to be a well-mannered human being. That's not the case for a lot of people in the US.
Mhm.
Um, but that is one of the things I love about the UK is just great manners and passion, and yeah, it's an awesome place to visit.
It is. It is. And again, same for your country as well. Also we love to visit the America. We love to visit the tourist attractions, and the beaches. The casinos. You name it. We will be there for one reason or for other. And what we've noticed is as well, like not many people like to queue up, do they? In America, from what I've seen anyway. Regardless, in the
Mhm.
UK, rather than anyway.
Yeah.
We're more like polite, as you say, of lining up and such. So
Yes.
moving on from that. Oh, go on.
Wait, wait, I forgot to tell you one thing.
Yeah, yeah.
So I did a show. I did a show in Brighton,
Oh, yeah.
and as my driver is driving me from the airport into to Brighton, I had fallen asleep for a while, and then I woke up maybe 10 minutes before we got there, and I said, "So what is Brighton known for?" And he said, "It's gays." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "The gays. It's Brighton is known for its gays." I'm like, "Oh snap! I should do well then because all my friends are gay." And yeah, so my friend Martin,
Oh, yeah.
my best friend in the whole wide world, he ended up coming with me, and oh my god, I have some of the best memories from that trip at a gay karaoke bar. And oh my god, just all these like drag shows that we went. It was just the best time ever.
Well, I'm
Loved
glad.
it.
I'm glad you enjoy Brighton, and hopefully you get to go back to Brighton with Marty, and maybe even some more of your other friends as well to come over and to
I know
visit
that'd be
Brighton.
great. Yes.
So moving on from this wild journey of you coming to the Manchester, to in the UK over and over again in your lovely 30 years of being able to travel with such amazing companies. You worked for CNN in the 80s, didn't you, as a makeup artist? Did you ever do anything on air or just mostly behind the scenes for CNN?
No. No. Did for any anchor or celebrity that went on air.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy that while you were there? Enjoy working for CNN back in the 80s compared to how it is nowadays with so much global it's gotten?
Yeah. Well, I mean, everything is so political now. I would hate working there because I don't like that kind of politics.
Yeah.
But um, I back then, they mocked us. They called us chicken noodle news, and they were like, who wants to watch news 24 hours a day? That's stupid. Well, no, it wasn't stupid because people do want to watch news 24 hours a day.
Mm.
But yeah, it was an interesting time, and like I loved what I did. The only thing I didn't like was middle management. Like middle management, those people always are trying to climb the ladder and get to the next rung,
Yeah.
and it's just like they don't get. Um, they're more concerned about them getting to the next rung than they are concerned about helping and handling what you need done for your makeup room or whatever.
Hmm.
So yeah, I almost said came to blows. I didn't ever come to blows with anyone, but I just got really disappointed in the behavior of one of the middle managers, and I think it was because of her that
Gotcha.
I was like, I quit. I don't need this. I don't want this anymore. Goodbye. Yeah.
So did you go to college or university or anything like that to study makeup artist, or did you just thought when you were maybe in high school or something that was your passion you wanted to go into?
So I went to Broader Fashion College, but that has nothing to do with makeup.
Oh,
Back
really?
when
Okay.
I was back when I was like 13, 14, 15, and my sister would go out every weekend because she had a car and she was old enough to date and what have you.
Mm.
I would be left at home alone, and it literally every weekend I would wash and style my hair one way, do my makeup one way, go shower, do it all over again. And I was just constantly, working on it and doing it. And I never had a degree in it, but I worked for a cosmetics company in the States called Moral Norman.
Okay.
Um, my dear friend that lived across the street from me, her mom owned um, a fashion store, a clothing store, and she also had Moral Norman Cosmetics inside of that store. And so I literally was doing makeup on women from the time I was 14 on. So I
Wow.
worked for her for a long time. And Yeah, I just knew what I was doing. I didn't need a degree. I didn't need whatever. And so one day, I was up, my the Balder Fashion College. My father, being the not so nice person that he was, um, he paid for the first year of my college, and then it's the typical parent that tries to hurt the mother or the father via the kid, which it always hurts the kid instead. But he said, if you want to go to college anymore, your mom will have to pay for it. She couldn't afford to pay for my college. So I basically went home. And then I was home for maybe, I don't know, 3 months. And I was working at the newspaper doing layouts for ads. And I was just like, I can't do this. I'm going to hang myself. So I called one of my professors up in Atlanta at the fashion college, and I said, "Get me out of here! Like, please, like, give me some job." And she's like, "Well, the hair salon I go to, they're looking for a receptionist and someone to sweep the floors and shampoo hair. Do you mind to do that?" I'm like, "Girl, I will do whatever. Just get me out of here." So I took that job, and while it was there, one of the anchors from CNN came to get her hair done. Her name was Susan Lasovich. And so while I'm shampooing her hair, I kind of whisper, because it was not a good work policy to do what I did, but I whispered, and I'm like, "Who's in charge of makeup at CNN?" And she told me the name Ramona Horton. And I called for Ramona Horton every damn day for like a month. And finally, Ramona was like, "Oh my God, okay, come in. I'll interview you. Just come in tomorrow. Just come in. Fine." And when I got there, she's like, "Okay, this guy, his name is Patrick Greenlaw. He's about to go on air, do his makeup." And I did his makeup and sent him off to be on air. And she looked at me and she said, "You're hired." So that's how I got my job at CNN. It's called chutzpah. It's called, you don't take no for an answer, and you just keep plowing forward,
Yep.
So
Yep, I get you
that's
there.
how, yeah. So
That's a very interesting story, and it's quite a motivating story as well. Because you as you say, you don't take no until you get the answer you want, or you get to speak to the person you want to get in contact with and see what happens, kind of thing. And
yeah,
you got there, and then eventually, I think it was the Jim Crockett's promotions. They came in, didn't they? And because they were using the studios to
yeah.
film stuff, weren't they, in the CNN center in Atlanta? And then they
Well,
went.
actually, it was actually at that point it was not the CNN Center.
Oh, okay.
We did everything at Techwood Studios, which is where the company was born.
Right.
So it was only after several years that they then built CNN Center and got into that. But yeah, it was at Techwood Studios where we did CNN, and where Crockett flew his boys in to do Saturday and Sunday tapings.
Gotcha. Because
Yeah.
they saw you, and I think they approached you with something to get you involved in doing the makeup for their talent, or something to do with their talent, wasn't it? I think.
No. It was my job to do makeup on the weekends because I was the new person and I was the low man on the totem pole. So because I was the new person and the lowest person on the totem pole, I had to work weekends.
Right. Okay.
So yeah, so it was part of my job to do makeup for wrestling because they were there on the weekends.
So, when you were had to do that on the weekends, did you thought, "What have I got myself into?" Or did you just go with the flow? Whatever, however I'm getting my paycheck, that's what I would do, kind of thing.
Well, no, I mean it was interesting and funny. Like I used to die laughing at the way some of the rats would come dressed, especially on a Sunday morning. Like, okay, I am a big believer in the man upstairs, right?
Yeah.
So, I was raised going to church every Sunday and that kind of thing. And these like floozies would come dressed in the most tacky, god awful outfits on Sunday just because they were trying to, go to bed with one of the wrestlers and they wanted to look as floozy as possible. but it was just god awful. But that used to crack me up. It was entertainment for me, honestly, to do makeup for them on the weekends. It was a hoot and a holler. It was
Yeah.
funny. Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair. And then, of course, you got yourself with WCW, when of course when that bought out Jim Crockett's promotions, and then, when was it when you decided? Was it in WCW, or was it once you got to WWE when you came on screen as a character?
So I was Alexandra York. I had the York Foundation in WCW. Um, if you don't know that, do some research. um, Ricky Morton, which I changed all their names. So like for instance, Terry Taylor, I changed his name to Terrence Taylor. Ricky Morton to Richard Morton. Tommy Rich to Thomas Rich. Yeah, so I had the whole gimmick where I could put input information about my wrestler and their opponents into my computer and come out with well, a way for my guys to win, which
Gotcha.
is just stupid. But anyway, that was what the gimmick was. But Tony Schiavone one day said to me, he's like, let's go to lunch today. And I said, okay. I had no idea what he was planning on talking about, but he's the one that told me, hey, we have this idea for you. And, what do you think about it? Would you be interested in doing it? And I'm like, well, we need to talk money because, I have to be at CNN every day at 4 a.m. and I work till 12 noon. And then I would have to fly or drive to wherever TVs are.
Yeah.
And, that would be a lot. So, so I did not come up with anything that had to do with that gimmick except the name. I came up with the name Alexandra York because I thought it sounded snobby and snooty and bitchy, and yeah, so I came up with the name Alexandra York. But as far as the actual the bones of the character and everything, that was done for me. They came up with that idea.
Gotcha.
And they asked me if I would be interested in doing it. Yeah.
Do you remember the year that was? I'm going to say it was early 90s. I'm going to say I could be completely wrong about that, but do you remember?
No, it was the 80s.
The 80s, okay. Late 80s, was it?
I think it was like 89.
Okay.
88, 89, yeah.
Just
Ask
when...
Martin Duggan, he knows everything about my personal life.
So was that the beginning of WCW, or was that like the right at the end of the Jim Crockett promotions?
It was kind of in the middle of that.
Okay.
So yeah, so Crockett sold to Ted Turner, and I think that's when I went in. It was definitely when it became WCW.
Gotcha.
When I was in there.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna say, was it something you did some on-air work with them, because you were kind of like a manager, weren't you, in WCW, and then you went to onto WWE back then, WWF back in then, when you were also a manager for many different stars, from Goldust to Perry Saturn, and then you came to be an interviewer as well, didn't you, at one stage?
Yeah. So you just fast forwarded through a whole lot of history.
Go, feel free to slow me down and rewind a little bit, because that's absolutely fine with me. If I go a bit too fast there.
No, this is your interview. I'm going to let you conduct it as you will. So I don't know what your question was.
Oh, sorry. I'm just saying. I'm going to say. So I'm guessing that you continue working as a manager in your tenure at WCW before you then, either you approached WWE or they approached you to come and work for them. You then were on as an on-screen manager for many different wrestlers. You then came an on-screen interviewer at some stage. And how did that work out? How did that happen?
How did what happen?
Of how they approached you to be, hey, we want you to do interviews now for our programs.
Well, first of all, I'm going to go back and fill in some stuff.
Yeah, please
for
do.
You. You breezed past a lot. So
my apologies.
I had quit both CNN and WCW, and I was pregnant. I had Dakota. She's like a year and a half old. Dustin is now now. He's just been doing Gold Dust for a little bit. And I was laying in our tanning
Mm.
bed, and I had just been at my sister's home, and she had this Barbie doll that was done by Bob Mackie called Sun Goddess. And I saw it, and then I'm laying in the tanning bed thinking, what is it that WWF does not have right now in terms of their women? What is it? Because they had Scary Sherry and they had
Yeah.
Sunny. I was like, they're missing like old school, old Hollywood glamour. And since Dustin was supposed to be this
Mm.
actor, and this androgynous being, I was like, wow. So I came up with the entire gimmick for Marlena. I brought in the cigars because I love to smoke cigars in my private
Yeah.
life. And yeah, I created that entire character and the name, everything about her. Like and so I told Dustin when I was laying in the tanning bed, I called him and he was on the road and I called him and I said, I have this idea. And I told him about it. He's like, I love it. I said, okay, call Vince and tell him. He's like, no, if you want to do it, you call Vince and tell him. I'm like, Dustin, I don't work for him. You work for him. You call Vince and
Yeah.
tell him.
Because he
Well,
won't know who you
back
are, will
then,
he?
Dustin was not, well, of course he knew who I was. Yeah, because I was in
Well, yeah, of
wrestling. So
course.
of course he
I
knew who
mean,
I
like he
was.
wouldn't know you like personally. Well, I mean, like not as person as he knows Dustin because he works for him and whatnot. But I meant, sorry.
Yeah. So anyway, Dustin was not real keen on talking to people in power back then. He was very insecure with
Mm.
that. So that's really the reason he said to me, you call Vince. But yeah, I called and left a message. Pat Patterson called me back. I told him my idea, my storyline, and he kind of gave me, this obligatory thanks, but no thanks. This brush off. He's like, yeah, okay, thanks, but yeah, I don't think we're interested. So I was like, no big deal. I loved being a
Hmm.
mom. I was so happy, being a new mom to this year and a half old precious child. And then it was not very long after that. I was at my grandparents' home for Christmas. Dustin was on the road, and he called me and he said, what are you doing? And I said, I'm just at Granny's house. What are you doing? He said, well, pack your bags. They want to do your idea. So, um, yeah, so I guess, maybe it was that the story finally got to Vince and he said, no, I like
Yeah.
that. So the whole idea for me when I created Marlena was to have her be somewhat androgynous, which the cigar helped so much. And then my behavior was very masculine, the way I handled
Hmm.
things. I was in control of Dustin and of Gold Dust, and I was the director. So yeah, it worked out beautifully, and yeah, that was probably the most fun I've ever had in the
Oh, that's
business.
good. That's good. And the fans reacted very well to it as well. I think they enjoyed when they decided to add you to the mix with Goldust. I think that worked even more powerful. I think to the stories they were telling at that time, which people can relive now on the Peacock and on the Double E network nowadays, can't they?
Yeah, I mean, it was just it added layers of depth to the both characters really. It enhanced Dustin's character as
Mm,
Goldust and gave that character more layers, and yeah, it was good all the way around.
sure was. And then you went from managing Goldust to many other different, various different superstars within the Double E, and then
Yeah.
which other clients did you enjoy working with?
Which one?
Which other clients in Double E, when you were their manager, did you enjoy working with the most? Or did you enjoy
Did you say
everybody?
did you say
I did.
did you say
I did.
client?
I know I used the wrong term. I mean, like when you were their manager to the ring and whatnot.
Okay, yeah, like we don't call them clients. Yeah. So that's really sorry,
No, no,
Edward.
it's fine. I think it's a
Um
British thing. So,
yeah,
yeah.
maybe. So no, I absolutely loved working with Perry. He was phenomenal. Um After working with Dustin, with Perry was probably my favorite. Hardy Boys were great. I managed quite a few people, but I think after Gold Dust, it would probably be Perry. That was my favorite to work
Yeah,
with.
yeah. Because I think you and Perry had some great chemistry with his work, and
That's
how
sad.
you interacted.
People, people think that we were an item, and we were
Yeah,
not. In fact, there's a great story that goes along with
yeah. Feel
that.
free.
So normally you get to the building, you have to be depending upon what time zone you're
Yeah.
in. If you're on the East Coast, you have to be at the building at the arena at 1 p.m. If you're on the West Coast, you have to be there at 11 a.m. Um, and so, but you get there, there's catering for lunch. You eat lunch. Some people go to the gym. For me, I would always run the arena. I would go all the way to the top of the building and just run the arena because no fans were allowed in at that point. But then you would always see the boys go into the arena and find a spot where nobody else was sitting to call home, right? And or if you just wanted to talk to someone in private, you went out into the
Hmm.
arena and found a place where no one was sitting and you had a conversation. So Perry called me and he's like, I want to talk to you. And so I followed him out to the arena. I don't remember which arena it was, but he said to me, he goes, I just want to tell you that I really like you and I want to date you. And I was like befuddled and I was like, um, no, like, I don't see you as that. Like, you're my brother, you're my friend. I'm sorry. Perry Saturn did not speak to me for 2 solid weeks. I had to work with him for 2 weeks, and that man is not even speaking to me. It was horrible.
Yeah, I bet it was.
So after those 2 weeks, he finally, I guess, tucked tail and decided, okay, if that's the way it's going to be, that's the way it's
Hmm.
going to be. Well, years and years after that, he told me, he said, Terry, I was so used to screwing any broad, it was like, you know, it was easy. Anyone I was with, we had sex. That was just the way it was. And he said, you were the first female that I ever had as a friend, like as a true friend, that there was no sex, there was no nothing like that. He said, you showed me that you can actually have a female
Yeah.
friend. And I thought that was such a great compliment because yeah, because I mean I loved Perry so much, but not in that
Hmm.
way. So yeah, but I mean people always assume whomever you're managing that you're having sex with them. I don't know why, it's stupid, but yeah, that's not
No,
the
no,
case.
I believe you there as well, because like it happens, more back then, didn't it? Like, oh, because they work so well on screen, people just think that they were an item off screen, didn't they? And it's not always true, as your story indicates right there.
Yeah, and but what's interesting is nowadays, like this new crop of wrestlers that are in
Hmm.
there, I do not like back in my day, we did not. It was not like not a normal thing to date each
Yeah.
other. Like, and if you did, you kept it completely secret. You didn't want anyone to know. But now in this era, it's like everyone dates everyone in the business. It's like yeah, like no longer a
Mm.
taboo. Um, yeah, it's interesting. It's
It is,
changed.
isn't it? And there's a question I got for you in a little bit about if your character could work in today's wrestling, like with your when you became a wrestler on screen. I know you were very against not becoming a wrestler because you were enjoying doing your work as a manager and as an interviewer, weren't you? Rather than being a competitor, because you never really trained to be a competitor in the first place. It just happened by mistake, becoming a part of on screen and whatnot, and then becoming an actual wrestler wasn't your prote, was it? In a bit later on, but we'll get there shortly because
Okay, I'm confused. What are you
I'm going to
asking
ask
me?
you about whose idea was it to come up with you becoming a interviewer for Monday Night War? Or
Um, so I had done a show which I love doing with Coach called
oh yes,
Excess,
that's right. Because you
and
replaced Trish Stratus, didn't you? After she became an active performer, is that correct?
yes, yes. So I absolutely loved doing that gig. That was one of my favorite things ever to do. So I would fly up to Stanford every week, do the show, and then they would have me at in Times Square at the restaurant that we had called The
That's
World.
right.
And yeah, I would like host parties there. And like that was just the greatest time. I brought Dakota with me so many times during that. And I think my child had seen more Broadway plays by the time she was like 7 than most humans ever see in their entire
Yeah.
life. But yeah, so I really love that. So I'm assuming that it would be that they thought, okay, she did the show, she did all that, interviewed people on Excess. Let's put her in the interview. And I love that too because um it was not about me, like it was not about showing tits and
No.
ass. It was a more cerebral kind of thing for me. Not that I was handing down information from on high or anything, but it was something where I could dress in a more classy way and still sexy, but just more classy. And yeah, I had fun with that. I enjoyed doing
More
that a
like
lot.
like more like classy, like formal wear kind of thing. Make it a bit more like try and keep the attention of yourself, but more on the person you're trying to get over in that particular segment, kind of thing. Would you say or not?
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about formal wear.
Like a blouse, or maybe more like a like what the interviews were nowadays on the Boy TV.
So like formal wear is considered like long evening
Yeah.
gowns and that kind of thing. So I did not wear formal wear.
Okay.
But I did wear like more
Yeah.
blazers and just things that weren't as revealing as what I would normally have to wear, if I was going to the ring or
Yeah.
whatever.
That makes
So,
sense.
yeah.
Of course, you had some great segments with The Rock and Steve Austin and many other great superstars in that era. Um, is there a particular moment you enjoyed in that particular spotlight when you were interviewing a certain wrestler?
Well, first of all, I love Steve Austin so much, and I always had fun doing any interviews with him. I mean, we went back, we were together in WCW and friends way back
Hmm.
then, and so yeah, that was kind of an old school friendship. But yeah, I mean there were some funny ones. The Rock did a pretty funny one. I did a funny one with Chris
Oh yeah.
Jericho where he like was spitting out. That was crazy and funny. Yeah, I mean, I remember one time, and I forget exactly which show this was, but some midget was trying to look up my skirt or something, and then what was that? I totally forget what that was because I ended up running out in the parking lot chasing the midget. Like, it was this craziness that happened.
That's what happens
Do you
on the
remember
Boy
that?
TV. Anything can happen.
But do you remember what I'm talking about or
I
no?
do. I do remember you talking about. Yes, it was quite. I didn't really get that either, but I'm guessing it was pure entertainment just to try and get people laughing. I'm guessing, but I do remember it. But I didn't really understand why they had a midget on there. No idea.
No, I guess I was just saying that was one of the things I remembered as an
Oh, okay, got you.
interviewer.
Okay, yeah, I do remember that
Um,
moment. Yeah.
yeah, that's why I brought that up.
Sorry.
Yeah. I mean, I know why they did it. I'm just saying that was one of the things I remember, because it was just such a strange thing that we
Yeah.
did.
A bizarre moment, for
And
sure.
everyone was chasing everyone out in the parking lot. I mean, it was freezing cold out there. It was crazy, but yeah, that was a memorable moment, even though I can't remember exactly what show or if it was a pay-per-view or a TV or whatever. I can't remember, but yeah, ask Martin Duggan. He'll know.
Yeah, well, even as well, you never know. You
Hashtag,
never know. You might actually get to rewatch
hashtag,
it on your streams on Twitch and whatnot, but by your fans, because of course you got your own Twitch channel. It's called is it called the Terri Runnels? Is that right?
well, yeah. So my live stream is the name of it is the Terri
Yeah.
Runnels. Yes, I was just gonna say hashtag um ask Martin Duggan because literally he knows everything. So if you do hashtag ask Martin Duggan, yeah, we'll get an answer. Yeah. So I started a live stream. Um, I was on D Live for a while, and then I moved to Twitch and I love it. I love like there's no two nights that are the same. Some nights we watch videos of wrestling. Some nights we watch weird videos that I've found on YouTube. Some nights we don't watch videos at all, and I just answer questions and we talk. But there's no night like it's never something where you go, okay, I feel like I've seen this
Yeah.
before. It's just all different and unique, and we always start at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then we don't have a set cutoff time. I usually go about an hour and a half. Um, and the reason I usually go about an hour and a half is because I feel like when people are either when they're giving their time, whether it's live, whether they're there with me live, or whether it's them watching it at a different time, that's still a chunk of their
Yeah.
life, right? It's an hour and a half of life. And I feel like if I go longer than that, it's like, come on now. I've got children to raise. I've got dinner to cook. I've got laundry to do. Like, I don't, so I try to keep it at a time frame that's not too overwhelming for
Yeah.
people. So yeah, but we normally start 7:30 at night, and we do it Sunday, Monday, Wednesday. However, this week, because I missed Monday, I'm doing a Friday show. So like tomorrow night, I'm doing a show, which I normally would not do.
Right.
Um, yeah. So yeah, but I usually always post on Twitter or Facebook, when I'm going live. And if I'm not going live, I always post, hey, something's come up. I can't be live tonight.
That's fair. That's fair. At least you're being honest with your fans, which is quite good because many people, don't do that, do they? Some people just say, "I'll be there," and then people want to, expect to be tuning in, and then that's particular person don't even show, do they? But at least you let your fans in advance and say, "Sorry, guys, I can't make it. I'll make up by doing another stream on this day or tomorrow, or whatnot." So it's quite good. And you have built up your community on Twitch and of course D Live as well, and people like you for that. They get to interact with you,
No longer.
for an hour and a half.
Yeah, no longer D Live. D Live, I'm not on anymore. I'm only on
Yeah,
Twitch.
that's fine.
And so yeah, to get to my channel, it's www.twitch.tv/the Terri Runnels. So www.twitch.tv/the Terri Runnels, and that'll get you to my show.
Yes, and she'll be live there tomorrow night at
Yes.
7:30 p.m. Eastern. Is that right?
Yeah. What's that for you guys? 12:30?
Correct. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Not really easy. It's funny. Sometimes I do 12-hour marathons because of that. Like I'm like people in different continents and countries, they can't stay up overnight to really partake in this. So yeah, I do marathons every so often.
That's nice.
In fact, I'm due for a marathon here soon. So probably in the next couple of months, I'm going to do a marathon again. But yeah. So I understand if you guys don't tune in, but I would love for you to tune in sometime and just see what it's all about and say hello and tell me. Like, I'd love for you to tell me that you heard it on Edward's show, and that would be cool.
It would be cool indeed, and of course, we do hope that people do tune into your show either tomorrow night or on your other Saturday nights you do, and hopefully they get to tune in to see what you do. And because it's very interactive. I watched one of your streams the other night on your Twitch channel on demand from your recent videos, and it's very interactive. As I say, and you have built it up very well, and the fans love you, and they continue to support you to this day, which is great to see. But I will bring back this up for you as well, because another funny moment I remember was a backstage segment between yourself, Trish Stratus, and I think it was Molly Holly. Could be wrong about that, but I think Molly Holly was involved as well. Do you remember that moment, with that segment you done back in the day?
Tell me more about it.
Well, I can remember a picture of where I think it was either Trish Stratus or Molly Holly. You were interviewing one of them, and one of them was showing their bum to the camera. Don't know why that was, but I'm guessing the same meant that way. But I'm just curious to know if you remember anything about that.
No, but here's the crazy thing. Like, Martin will send me some videos of stuff I've done, and I'll be like, Mart, literally, I'd totally forgotten about that until you just showed it to me. And then it's like the memories come flooding back. But just to ask me, no, I haven't. Yeah, my memory sucks.
Oh, no, it's fine. But I enjoyed that moment. It was quite funny with your facial expressions to the reaction of what was happening in front of you. So that was quite fun. And then it was, of course, Vince's idea to then to make you a competitor onto WWE TV. You weren't a big fan of that. Of course, I wouldn't be a big fan of that either. But you did it anyway. Why didn't you just maybe just walked away? Instead of just forcing to do it. You could have walked away from it, or got released or whatnot. But you went ahead and became a wrestler for a short time. Did that ever come into your head to maybe decide to, not, if that's the only option you're going to give me, then I quit, kind of thing?
No, because I loved my WWE family. I loved, it was like family. I didn't want to leave.
That's fair.
But I didn't really have a choice. It was like, if you say no, you're going to be fired. So, I gave it my best and did my best, even though I was petrified. And yeah, I've said this before. I don't know of any other wrestler that has ever been taught what they're going to do that night just hours before. They've never done it before, but they've just been taught that hours before, and they've got to wear like a thong or a bikini or something showing their body. So it's like I was literally mortified. But yeah, I mean, it's funny, people criticize my wrestling like she sucks. Well, I should suck, because literally what I've been taught, like, people train for years to become wrestlers. Years. And here you are teaching me something hours before I'm to be live in front of millions of people, on top of thousands of people in this arena. Hell, yeah, I mean, I think if you consider all that, I probably did a real damn good job. But yeah.
Well, you just saw it before, and it might be very scaring at first, but once you got used to the audience reactions to you and everything like that, I'm hoping, I'm going to say this, you got used to doing it after a while. No, never.
No, I never did.
Wow.
Every single time I would get to TVs and they would tell me, okay, you're wrestling tonight, I would just be sick to my stomach. I mean, sick to my stomach. And I would be just a bag of nerves until I walked out, the gorilla position onto the Titantron. And I just acted. I just pretended that I owned that shit and that I was, like, hell yeah, I'm going to go down there and kick somebody's butt. Inside, I was just mortified. Yeah, it never changed.
That's fair. It's interesting.
Love taking bumps from the guys. Love taking huge bumps from the guys. Hated wrestling other women. Didn't like it at all.
Gotcha. If you don't mind me asking, why didn't you not like wrestling other women?
Because I didn't know what the fuck I was
Well,
doing.
that's fair. Okay.
I mean, literally, it's like, and it's not like I'm doing it every week, so I get like I'm actually, learning a whole lot. It was like sparse. It was like, okay, you're gonna interview. Okay, no, tonight you're gonna wrestle. Oh, okay, you're gonna manage. Oh no, you're gonna wrestle tonight. What? Like it was like you never knew, and it was a hot mess. So yeah, it was just. I mean, I always wanted to please Vince, and I love Vince. I wanted to make him happy, so I would always do my best. Um, but yeah, it was just like, yeah, I mean, it was like throwing somebody into the fire and just trial by
Yeah.
fire. Yeah.
Do you think the other women on the roster thought when they heard that you would be wrestling more often that their place on the card might be taken away from them? If but they just know of
No, I don't
you
think so at all.
being
No,
oh, okay, that's
no,
good.
because they used they used me as I was the fall guy. I was the one to get pinned. I was the one to lose. I was the one to be in some crazy wacky um match. Not that there weren't others that had to do like gravy
Yeah.
matches, and I mean there was crazy stuff. But yeah, no, the female wrestlers, no, they I mean, they had trained for years. They knew what they were doing. And in no way did I make them feel like I was going to take
Well,
their
that's
place.
good.
No.
That's good because we don't want because sometimes I've heard these before where other people get talking and say they get a bit worried, don't they? That new person walks in and it's like, oh, they might take our place. We got to make the best of this opportunity to the best of our ability to impress the uppers in the business in WWE and whatnot to try to say this is our spot, we deserve the spot kind of thing. But I'm glad that didn't take place while you were there with the women with you because because they were some of the best women in the industry back then, wasn't they? And it's good to see that yourself and many of them are still able to come to WWE every now and then, and and it's good to see the reaction from the fans to say remember, because many people think they might not remember us, kind of thing, but people do. You'd be surprised how many people remember you on national TV when you make your return, just like when you did in 2018 for the 25th anniversary of War.
Yeah.
Which is quite good.
Yeah.
Another question to have, because you actually you were on a show, weren't you, back in 2002, part of the boy, of course. It was on the Weakest Link on NBC, where you got to meet the meanest woman in the world, Anne Robinson. Remember her? You are the weakest link. Goodbye. And in that show, you were on there with the other WWE personalities for a charity edition of the weakest link. What was it like being a part of the weakest link and meeting the meanest woman in the world, Anne Robinson, who was very insulting to every contestant she ever came across? If you remember.
I do remember. Listen, here's the deal with my memory. Either if I remember it
Yeah.
perfectly, and it's like a perfect memory. If I don't, it's like an either or. So if I remember it, I remember it with great clarity. If I don't, I don't. But she was so funny because so minutes before we actually start
Yeah.
taping, um, she said because she had been so friendly and so beautiful to all of us, and so about 60 seconds before we started shooting, she's like, just to let you know, this is the last time you will see me being nice. So the next time you hear from me, I will not be nice. And that's all. And so, yeah, then she started, and boy, yeah, but that was awesome. That was so much fun to do.
uh,
Yeah, we loved that.
yeah. So she is quite an interesting character, is Anne Robinson, isn't she, on TV? I never knew anything like that. I did not.
Oh,
I never knew that she spoke to the contestant before they went live. I just thought because they did a documentary on how they made the weakest link in America on NBC with her showing her behind the scenes footage, and she said, I don't speak to the contestants beforehand, only 30 seconds beforehand to say I'm going to be not speaking to him in a nice way. So it's quite nice that it's a bit different to the celebs, kind of thing, which is quite good.
Yeah, yeah, definitely,
And of course,
but yeah, that
oh,
was.
go on.
Go
I
ahead.
was going to say, you were voted out fourth in that in the fourth round. You were voted out, weren't you? Unfortunately.
Shame on me because I knew it was an AK-47, not an AR-47. What is wrong with me? I love my guns, and I was just so disappointed in myself that I did not say the proper thing. I was just disgusted.
It was. It's just nerves. It just get to you, and you just it's just the first thing that comes on top of your head. That's all, and it's not your fault. It's to do with the other personalities on the show who decided they thought you were the weakest link. I don't think you were the weakest link in that round, but hey ho, it's a 19-year-old history lesson there. Can't believe it's been 19 years, by the way.
Yeah. I see. I was going to tell you something, but I lost my. I should have interrupted you to talk, but I didn't. So I've lost it now.
Is it to do with to do with the weakest link?
Yeah, it had to do with the weakest link.
Okay, because you just talk about guns. But I don't remember your mind. You're talking about your guns and about the question to do with guns where you got voted out.
No, it's okay.
But hopefully it might come back.
You keep talking.
So
it's okay. Keep talking.
So you did that show. Is there any other reality show you would love to do in the future?
No,
not like Jeopardy or any or even the Chase USA, nothing like that.
No, doesn't appeal to me at all.
Is there any?
Even though I had a ton of fun doing Weakest Link, like anything that's out there right now does not appeal to me at all.
That's a shame. Not even The Price is Right.
No.
With Drew Carey. No, not even that. Okay, fair enough.
My memories of Price is Right would be when I would be sick and stay home from school. Yeah. That was like the coolest thing because it came on around like 11 or noon. Okay. And it was like when you were sick and you were at home, you were eating soup and The Price is Right would come on. It was like the soup was comforting and The Price is Right was comforting.
With Bob Barker as your host. Good old Bob.
Oh, yeah. Barker. Yeah. Little did we know what a pervert he was.
Yeah. It's good that he's still alive. Yeah, it's good to see he's still alive. He's in his like late 90s now. Can you believe it? Late 90s, he's still going strong.
Crazy.
While you were, part of, your wrestling family and whatnot, did you get to, because I know there are a lot of different celebrities over the years, did you get to spend time with any of those great celebs who got to come backstage at Double Ring?
Yeah, tons of people. But I probably got to be around more celebrities when I did Larry King Live up in Washington, D.C. for CNN. I mean, every night it was a president, a porn star, pop. Like it was just crazy.
You name it. They were on the show, weren't they? Back then.
What?
You're saying back then you named the star and they were beyond Larry King Live. The great legend himself. It's very sad that he's no longer here.
Yeah.
Because I enjoyed it.
I mean, he was a bit of a pervert as well. So I'm, it's like I don't have fond memories of him, but I have fond memories of working that show. That was a great show to work.
That's fair. So you mentioned about your Twitch channel. You did have a podcast, didn't you? Do you still do your podcast with your daughter Dakota?
Nope, I transferred all that to my live stream. Okay. That's now, it's Cigar Scars Superstars. Even though, like, to get to my live stream, you don't type in Cigar Scars and Superstars, but that's what I call it still. Okay. So yeah, I just transferred everything from a podcast to a live stream.
Gotcha. And does Dakota still do that show with you, or is it just you yourself now?
Say that again, sweetie.
Does your daughter still help you with that show, or is it all you?
You know, it's mainly me. Sometimes I have, um, like I went out to Texas to visit Terry Funk
Oh,
recently,
nice.
and he did a show with me. And I went up to see my dear precious Rod the Mod, and I had him on my show. So I don't have guest hosts very often, um, but depending upon the situation and the scenario, I might have someone on or I might not. So yeah, normally it's just me hosting the show.
Fair,
Yeah.
fair. I don't know if you or I don't know if you got to meet this person or not. I can't remember, but you can correct me now. So I'm in discussions with bringing on Eugene. Do you remember who he is? Hopefully you do. Hopefully, you met him or not. I'm not sure, but he worked in Double E as well. He's gonna hopefully come on the show in the next few weeks as well. Hopefully. Um, do you think? Have you got the chance to meet him? I can't remember if you two were there at the same time or if you missed him.
Well, when was he there?
He joined, I think it was like August of 2004. It was in the summertime of 2004. I know you left early 2004, so I
No.
wasn't sure if you two may have met before then.
Yeah. No. No, I did not meet him.
Okay, that's a shame.
But I wish him I wish him great success and a great show for
Oh,
you.
thank you, thank you. My last question to you is before we wrap this up, 'cause I'm sure you're a busy lady before your project and whatnot. Is there anybody you would maybe suggest or tell me to get in contact with to come on the show to follow yourself, the great Terri Runnels?
Mm. I mean, there are tons of people to suggest, um, but it's a matter of, I think honestly, it's like when you catch us, you if you catch us at the right time and we have time free, we're more apt to do these. So wow, you put me on the spot with that.
Fair enough.
Gee, I well, I'm just thinking who would be a good interview. Have you interviewed Shane
No, I
Helms?
haven't.
Well, he is actually a genius. Like he is a
He is.
genius,
He is. I've heard a lot of good
certified
things
genius.
about Shane Helms and different stories, as
Yes,
people have
he's
told.
got he's got the best sense of humor. He's a hoot and a holler. He's great to interview. I highly recommend that you interview him next.
Okay. Thank you. I'm just gonna write this down so I don't forget. um, so would you know? Because I'm not very good at this kind of stuff. Would you know any way I can contact either himself or like his puppetry like you do?
Well, you can't ask that on air,
Oh, I'm
dude.
not. I'm not
That's
going
not
to
the
do
kind
that.
of
I'm
question
not.
you're
I'm
asking.
not going to do that live on the air. I'm just asking if you know a way I can get in
You don't
contact with.
even ask. No, you don't even ask that on air. You do that in private.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Thank you for the suggestion there, Terry.
I'm serious. I'm serious because, yeah, I'm giving you a tip that will help
Oh
you
no,
out
I
in the
know.
future.
I'm not. I'm not
Don't
saying.
ever.
I'm not saying like it's gone through one ear and out the other. I'm not saying that. I understand what you mean, and I apologize.
Yeah, I hope that I didn't embarrass you
Oh
by
no,
saying
no, no,
that,
don't
but
worry.
I.
No, I mean because
But
I did it similar to Bischoff, where I meant like speaking of it live on the air. I don't mean to do that. I just mean like if we can discuss it off the air kind of thing. That's what I meant. Sorry, for that. um, but please do follow Terry
I'll,
on social
I'll,
media.
oh my, can't
Go
even.
on.
I'll every time I try to say something, I can't. Uh, I'll explain more to you in
Yeah, yeah,
private.
no
Is
worries.
that
Yeah, no
cool?
worries at all. Yeah, I do apologise. um, Make sure you do follow Terri Runnels on social media. It's very simple. She keeps it very simple, unlike me. You can find her on Twitter and Instagram at the Terri Runnels on there. She's almost got 100,000 followers on Twitter. She's got almost 42,000 followers on Instagram as well. So please do follow and support her because she's a great person, as you can tell by listening to her on this podcast/video podcast or talk show, whatever you want to call this crazy thing. And
bless you. And remember, I owe you a video.
Yes.
Like I owe you a video interview. Yeah.
Yes. Well,
so we will do another edition of this, and we will be able to see each other.
Yeah. Definitely, and I do hope you do come back on the show again, because you might think, oh god, this guy isn't a very great person or a great host compared to the other show that I've been a part of so far.
You're lovely. It's great. You're lovely.
Oh, thank you.
So yeah, I want to say thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
And yeah, hello to all your fans.
You good old man,
and
around the world, yeah.
Yeah, and I hope to see you guys soon in the UK.
Definitely, most definitely. And on that note, make sure if you enjoyed this episode with the great Terri Runnels, then make sure you give it a like. Make sure you share it all your friends, to their friends, you name it. Keep going around, share it everybody you know, and tell them why you should check out The Best Kept Secret on YouTube. The best of the best. You don't know who will be on the show next. Of course, we have sent out over 40 emails in the past 3 weeks. I've not been lazy. I've been sat on my couch, relaxing, doing whatever. I've been doing hard work, getting on people onto this great show. And if you enjoyed this episode, please do leave a comment. Let me know what your thoughts. Maybe you agree with Terri on some of the points we discussed in this great show. And if you're new around here and you enjoy the content, check out my other content, my other videos, and hit the subscribe button. Click the notification button, means you're always notified when I go live here on youtube.com/Edward Fowler. And until the next episode drops, enjoy the rest of your Thursday evening or afternoon.